Saturday, April 4th, 2026. We'll give this a minute for others to join. It is a beautiful day in Tennessee today. It's about 80 degrees. We take the motorcycle out for a ride after the stream is over. And we have some people joining. Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining. Give it another minute or so for others to join, and we'll get started. Such a beautiful day today. Don't know how many people will be on the stream, but it doesn't matter. We do it anyway. Hey, Gundoggin, how you doing, brother? Wow, 16-hour shift. That's a long night. Glad you could join us. Well, I'm glad that President Trump fired Pam Bondi. I've been saying all along that she is not a friend of the Second Amendment. She's done nothing to help us. And hopefully this guy Blanche will be better. And I'm hope with him in charge, the Second Amendment movement will start going on again in the White House. Now, the Attorney General is limited to what they can do, but she did nothing. And I've said all along, she was not a friend of the Second Amendment. So I'm glad that President Trump finally got rid of her. I like what Peter Hegseth did, effective Thursday, I believe it was. The gun-free military bases no longer exist. And that's about damn time. You have people that took an oath to protect the people, and they can't protect themselves because of a gun-free zone. That was a failure over and over and over again, and I'm glad that he did away with the gun-free zones. So today, I just went to my local FFL and picked up my lower receiver that just came in for, I'm building a Glock 21 clone, and this is the Lone Wolf Timberwolf large frame receiver. It will accommodate either a Glock 21 45 ACP or a Glock 20 10 millimeter slide. Very nice. It's very well built. It's got nice stippling. It even comes with 2 back straps. It's got a flared magwell. And the best part about it was the price. It was less than $150, as opposed to 300 and change for a Glock receiver. So, in my opinion, the Glock 21 is probably the best non-1911 pistol that ever hit the market. And I regret getting rid of my Glock 21. Don't know why. And hello there, Ozzy. I probably got rid of it to free up some money to buy another gun, but the Glock 21 is definitely one I regret getting rid of. So I decided to try out the Lone Wolf frame, and I'll just pick up a slide for it, and I'll build my own Glock 21. So that's all I have in gun news today. I still did not get a chance to fire my Viper yet. Yeah, I hate those. I hate when those boating accidents happen. I did get a tritium front night sight for my Viper, which should be delivered today. It's probably the only thing I don't like about that Viper is that blacked out front sight. I'm getting old and my eyes don't see that as well, so um, it should work out very nicely with the tritium front night sight. I put fiber optic sights on my Smith & Wesson 686 and my Ruger GP100, and they work out really well. .22s are all right. I mean, guns are guns, right? All right, guys, this stream is for you guys. So if there's any Second Amendment or firearms related topics you want to speak about, just post your comments. We are getting close to getting our 8,000 subscribers. So if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. I see a bunch of new people on the stream today, which is a good thing. That means YouTube is pushing us out to more people. And we do these live streams every Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern and every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. FN makes great quality guns. A long time ago, and I should have never got rid of that, I had a Ruger Mark IV. I got rid of that. I think that was 20 years ago. Hey, Duke. Welcome, brother. Thanks for joining. Again, thanks to our moderators for helping us take out the trash on these streams. Wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So I think, Mike, I know I have so many of them on my list, but I think that Smith & Wesson FPC in 10 millimeters definitely going to be coming soon. TJ, to be honest with you, I wouldn't cast it in lucite. It'll be worthless. I would just keep it as it is. And happy Easter, everyone. I hope you're all having a great Easter weekend. Hope the Easter Bunny gets you all what you want. I know he got me the grip module so I can build a Glock 21. Picked that up today. That thing was out of stock for months. Hey, good dad. Thanks for joining, brother. I think I had my name on the list for when it came in at Brownells for 3 months. And I finally got an email the other day that it just came in, and I ordered it, and they did ship it quickly though. I had it in 3 days, so. And good afternoon to you, Gundad. So even though I had to have the grip module sent to an FFL, at least I could have the slide and the barrels sent directly to my house. And this way I can now build a Glock 21 clone. That is probably one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, was getting rid of the Glock 21. I would never buy another Glock, but I'm not opposed to building Glock clones. Yeah, I agree, Mike. Like I said, when I got my FPC, it was only available in 9mm, and I don't like to wait. And then I was really pissed when it came out in 10mm. I definitely got to get one of those, especially for the fact that I just bought that Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 10mm. That FPC uses the same magazine. So, bye, Joshua. Bye-bye. Go back to your mommy's basement. Gundad, I don't run suppressors. I'll be honest with you, I really don't see what the point is. I mean, if you go to the gun range, you got to wear hearing protection anyway. I mean, maybe if you're a hunter, they look stupid. Um, you're definitely not going to carry a firearm with a suppressor on it. So uh, I, I'm just not a fan. I understand why people like them. It's just not for me. If Duke lives in New Jersey, he can't get 10. He can't get 15-round magazines. So you know what, Goon? Suppressors at home defense, yeah. If you're shooting in a house, yes, it's going to be loud, but realistically, in your home, I mean, how many rounds you really think you're going to fire? Um, when they consider, that the average gunfight is 3 rounds at 7 yards in 3 seconds, um, I'm willing to sacrifice hearing for my life. So, Silent Ringer, you can go back to your mommy's basement too. I mean, the suppressors definitely have a place. I think they're great for um, hunting, but realistically, if you're going to wear ear protection at the range anyway, unless you're there all by yourself, I'm just not. I'm just not getting the fascination with the suppressors. And Michael, happy Easter to you too, and hello from Texas. You know what, Duke? Anywhere but New Jersey is a great place to live. Got to be careful with North Carolina, though. Um, Asheville is starting to flip, and I I wouldn't be surprised to see North Carolina flip one day too. And I will shoot. You can go bye-bye and you can go back in your mommy's basement too. Yeah. Hey, Jib Job, welcome, brother. Hey, you know what, Duke? My wife and I lived in New Jersey for 55 years. So we do have the right to make fun of it because we did live there and grow up there. Yeah, it is painful, and it's even worse now. And hello, Virginia. Um, when Governor Christie was governor of New Jersey, Duke, we used to have 15-round magazine capacity, and that was fine. Then when they voted in Governor Free Stuff, that was the first thing Murphy did was change the magazine capacity from 15 rounds to 10. Well, thanks for stopping by there, Jib Jab, and you have a great Easter weekend yourself, and thank you for joining. Be safe. Well, you know what though, Mike? Another thing is it's not just the hearing. I mean, if you have to shoot inside and it's pitch black in the house, you'll probably wind up making yourself go deaf and blind. You're going to get the muzzle flash. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens now. Like I said, I'm really glad that President Trump fired Pam Bondi. Um, I've been saying all along that she wasn't a friend of the Second Amendment. You know what, Howdy? Whatever you have at home works for home defense. I mean, realistically, um, you're going to get muzzle flash, you're going to get noise, but, when you pick up your firearm at home, you're not going to think of going and grabbing your ear protection. Right? It's just one of those things. But the odds are, especially in a home situation, you're not going to be firing 15 rounds. Probably after 1 or 2 rounds, either your adversary will become incapacitated or they will retreat. So I don't really see it being that big of a deal. But I can tell you, I built a couple AR pistols, and I have an AR pistol with a 7.5-inch barrel, and even in outdoor range, that flash is pretty bright. I could just imagine indoors, and it is freaking loud. I do have some products I will be reviewing shortly. Unfortunately, life gets in the way sometime. Beautiful day today after this stream. I'm going to take the motorcycle out, and my wife and I are going to go for a ride. So probably wait till next weekend to test out the Viper. Well, that's the problem, Howdy. See, I wouldn't I wouldn't get a suppressor anyway, only because I don't want my name on that list. Um, they did away with the $200 tax stamp, but that wasn't a victory. All they did was get rid of the tax stamp. It's still on the NFA. You still have to fill out the form. So, and Saul Poultry, hello to you too. Ozzy, come to Tennessee, brother. You'll love it here. We pretty much have no gun laws. With all that stupid stuff that your governor's doing over there in Illinois, I'm telling you, I agree with you, Mike. I have an AR with a 7.5-inch barrel. I have one with a 10, and I built a 300 blackout with a 10. Let me tell you, it's brutal. Pro, what's my take on optics on carry pistols? You know what? I'm old. I'm old school. I've been an iron sight guy for years. If you would have asked me a year or so ago, I would have told you absolutely not. But now I have an optic on every gun. However, if you're going to do that, you just make sure you have suppressor height sights so that you can co-witness, which is what I always do. But the dots were a learning curve for me because I've been using iron sights for 50 years. So at first it was like, the cat chasing the laser pointer. But after you get past the learning curve, the target acquisition is much, much quicker. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. We live in Tennessee. It's beautiful here, and I don't see people living in poverty here. Matter of fact, we probably should have moved here 20 years ago. Well, Brian, that is the analogy how it felt for me. The dot was like all over the place, but now, like I said, I have a I have a red dot on every pistol I own that is optic ready, and that's how I carry. I think for a new shooter though, um, somebody that never shot before would probably pick up a red dot easier than an old time guy. And nothing comment. You can go back in your mommy's basement too. What optics do I recommend? Let me tell you something, Goon. Um, go through my videos. I've reviewed a lot of sites from Zulisi Optics, and in my opinion, Zulisi Optics are the best quality dots for the money. I put them up against my Hollow Sun any day. Motor Toad, yes. Tennessee went constitutional carry 2 years ago. We're here 7 years now, and I remember when we first moved here, we had to take an 8-hour class and we had to qualify in order to get our enhanced carry permit. And now any coconut off the street could open or conceal carry without a permit. But it is what it is. Yes, any gun restrictions are unconstitutional, but we are always going to have gun restrictions. You're always going to have liberal states. I mean, look what that lunatic is doing over there in Virginia. And that other dumbass in Illinois. The best assassin. You know what? I don't blame you for that. However, um, we live in the great state of Tennessee. I don't take my gun rights for granted, and I wouldn't if I were you either. Um, you never know. Um, one election can change all of that. Well, I don't see Florida going blue, but you never know. Look what happened in Virginia. Virginia used to be a gun-friendly state. I used to have a Virginia non-resident permit. I'll say good. You know what? You can go back in your mommy's basement too. Again, thanks to our moderators. At around this time, um, all the liberals that live in their mommy and daddy's basements and playing with their cats, I guess the mommies turn on the vacuum cleaner and must wake them up at around noon. You know, Howdy, it's not all about the money. I'd rather make less money and be able to carry my firearm. Game changer. Where in Tennessee did you move to? We're outside of Knoxville. And pretty much the only thing I miss from about New Jersey is the food. There's just a lot of stuff you can't get here. You can't get good pizza here. You can't get good Italian food. Can't get good Italian pastries. Nashville. We're going to actually be out in Nashville Memorial Day week. I love that guy, Lenny McGill, that owns the Glock shop, the Glock store. And they're having an open house Memorial Day. So we're going to be going out to Nashville for a bunch of things anyway. And then we'll stop at the Glock store. I may even do a live stream there. It would be really cool if I can get to do that with Lenny McGill. I love watching that guy's videos. Oh, thanks, brother. I do have a lot of them. Yeah, Lenny is awesome. I just love watching his videos, and he owns the store, so I know he's going to be there. But maybe he'll let me do a quick live stream with him. So, and I'm sure while I'm there, I'll pick up something. Yeah, good one, Jim. You know what? Since I've been to Tennessee, I've never seen so many flavors of pork rinds and beef jerky for that matter. Um, if you go to Bucky's, we have a massive Bucky's in Sevierville. They must have a wall with about 200 different flavors of beef jerky. And yeah, the pork rinds, I mean, these people eat them like they're going out of style. I mean, I've never seen so many flavors of pork rinds. I mean, people must have like really high cholesterol and must die of heart attacks. And Stick the Bird, you can go back to your mommy's basement too. I'm coming, Elizabeth. That was one of the greatest lines ever. I used to love Sanford and Son. Yeah, they don't make shit like that anymore. And it's funny, every once in a while, I don't know whether it's TV land, when you watch some of these older, uh, when you watch some of these older shows, right? There's there's no way that you'd get away with that now. Like you watch an episode of Leave It to Beaver, and when June Cleaver says to her husband Ward, Ward, you were a little rough on the beaver last night. There's no way that would fly today. And thanks. I'm glad you like the pro gun poster. Yeah, that's the problem, Jib Jab. And I don't, for the life of me, I don't know when it happened. You wake up one day and everybody's feelings get hurt. I think it all started with everybody gets a trophy. Whatever happened to the good old days, like when we were kids, you try out for the basketball team. And the next day, if your name isn't on the list on the coach's door, you didn't make the team. Nobody cried. And now it's like, no matter how bad a kid sucks, um, they have to let him play. Everybody gets a trophy. Matter of fact, with the little kids, they even stopped keeping score after a certain score so that their feelings don't get hurt. You know what? That's part of sports is losing hurts. It should hurt. Yeah, exactly, Jib Jab. We used to run laps. Um, and, we were taught that, losing hurts. Not this stupid thing, that uh, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. No, there's no such thing as a good loser. If you're a good loser, it's because you lose a lot. Who wants to lose? And, to stop keeping score because people's feelings get hurt, I don't understand it. I really don't. Then you get the DEI shit that totally destroyed the workplace. Exactly, Clint. I was a sore loser too. I used to, slam my helmet on the ground. Who likes to lose? And now you can't do anything. It's just like, I've trained in martial arts my whole life, and when I was a kid, um, my teacher used to walk around with a bamboo cane and whack us with the cane. And if we did something wrong, we did push-ups on our knuckles on sandpapers. If you did that stuff today, you'd get sued. You just can't train kids the way we were trained. And that's why they're so soft. Yes, that is known as old school. And you know what? You'll never see that again. And it's a shame. Heck, I mean, and I talked to some of the people that live here when they were kids. Um, they used to be able to take their guns to school. Um, and shoot on the rifle team. Those days are gone. And you like that, Jim Jabby. Who would have thought that would have come in handy? Yes, exactly. Bring back the woodshed, because you see the problem is these parents today are so worried about being their kid's friend instead of their parent. Um, and you can't discipline your own kid anymore. I mean, if my brother and I acted out in public, then my old man would give us a whack in the back of the head. Wouldn't do that no more. Now, you look at a kid cross-eyed, and somebody calls DIFUS and they take your kids away. So, we weren't abused by no means, but we were disciplined, and you know what? The only thing that caused was a thing called respect for others. And that's why these punk ass kids have no respect, because they never got an ass whooping at home. Hey, exactly, Clay. All you had to do was see the look. You didn't even know if you were going to get hit, but you weren't going to push it because you didn't want to test that. Yep, exactly. We have great moderators. You know, there's no way I could do this all by myself. So I really appreciate you guys. Wasn't even just my father, even my grandmother. Like when I was a kid, and I forget what I was doing, and she threw a Cornish hen and hit me in the back of the head with it. So wow, they're coming out of the woodwork like crazy today, Duke. Yeah, the wooden spoon, the slipper, uh, the leather belt. Hey, hello there, Wisconsin. Welcome, Tina. And hello, Vermont. Thanks for joining us. We've got a lot of new people on the stream today, so we do this live stream every Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern and every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. This is an open forum. We discuss firearms, Second Amendment, products. It's an opportunity to learn from each other. No one should be afraid to ask questions. I have about 900 videos out there to watch. And Gary, you can go back in your mommy's basement. So I don't know much about this guy, Blanche, that's the new AG, but I do know that Pam Bondi was not a friend of ours, and I've been saying that for months now. So it's going to be interesting now to see if we make any progress, especially on national reciprocity and these stupid individual state laws that should really all just fall under federal. All right, Jib Jab, thank you for joining, brother. You have a safe weekend. Have a great Eastern. Old Town, I have 308s, but I don't have a subsonic. Yeah, the weather's getting better here too. I still have some guns I haven't fired yet. But yeah, and you know what, Tina? The problem is the Second Amendment should all be federal. The Second Amendment doesn't say shall not be infringed except if you live in New Jersey or California. And I don't know why the Supreme Court didn't rule 50 years ago that, our Second Amendment rights are absolute. And what don't they get about shall not be infringed? And the other thing that I still, for the life of me, can't understand is that why did they only pick the Second Amendment to target? The Second Amendment is the only amendment that you need a license or a permit. Why? Because if they take away the Second Amendment, they could take away all the other ones. Just like you have some of the blue states making up their own gun laws. I mean, that should all be federal. I don't understand why, your right to defend yourself shouldn't evaporate because you cross the border into another state. Or in some states, your right to defend yourself shouldn't end the minute you walk out your front door. We need more people like Clarence Thomas. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the new Attorney General does. I know he's limited in power to what he can do, but Pam Bondi absolutely did nothing for us. And again, to all the new people that joined the stream today, if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. If you like what we do here, you may want to consider joining and becoming a member. We appreciate all the support. That is how we're able to purchase firearms and products to review for you guys. All right, guys, it's 12:35. So if you have any topics you want to discuss, put them in the chat here. This is your stream. We talk about what you want to talk about. You don't want to hear me just babbling all day long. You see, Mark. See that's something that I have a problem with. I don't know why we need magazine restrictions anywhere. If we're deemed competent and we're deemed qualified, then there shouldn't be any restrictions. What? I'm competent and qualified to carry, but only 10 rounds? That's just ridiculous. And the worst part about it is that they create gun laws to impact the safety of law-abiding citizens because the bad guys don't follow the law. You know what, Tina? That's a great question. And I don't know the answer because the system is definitely broken, right? And a lot of it does have to do with mental health. And it's a double-edged sword because there's people out there that know they have a problem and they want to get help. But they know if they get help that they're going to get their guns taken away, so they don't get help. Now, in Tennessee, they're pushing a bill, I don't know if it passed yet, that will ban healthcare providers from asking if you have firearms in your home. And if they do, they're subjected to $1,000 fine and disciplinary action. Now, see, that's exactly how it should be. If you need help, you should be able to go and get help, and there shouldn't be consequences because, if I know I need help, but they're going to take my guns, all right, you know what? I'm not getting help. And yes, Whitebird, little by little, our rights are being stripped. They do it every day. You know what, Adriel? That's a great question. And the answer is, I really don't remember. It's almost like I woke up one day and we have no rights left. And I really don't know when it happened. Yeah, you know what, Mark? When my doctor says, do you have guns at home? Or how many guns do you have at home? And I say, hell, I have guns in your office. You know what, Ralph? I'm not really seeing our rights coming back. My shirt, go Vols. I agree with you, Vanilla. The system is definitely broke, right? I'll get right with you, Tina. There's definitely a mental health issue. There's also proof that most of these mass shootings are done by transgenders. And I don't know what the answer is to fix that. It is a mental health problem. And I think it's harder for a sane person to act crazy than it is for a crazy person to act sane. And I know that, people fall through the cracks, and there's probably, no, there definitely are people that are issued permits um, that shouldn't have them. Okay, 2026, you can go back in your mommy's basement. And yes, Tina, some healthcare professionals do ask if you have guns at home. And my response to that is, hell, I have guns in your office. And I agree, Overwatch. The Patriot Act is an example of them. And when we lose our rights, you never get them back. They never go back to what they used to be. Um, they, you wind up getting an amended version of those rights. No, it isn't none of their damn business, but they do ask. And again, it's a double-edged sword, right? If you're going to a doctor because you have a mental condition and he's concerned that you may be a threat to yourself or others, then, what do you do? I don't know how they fix the mental health aspect of it. But on the other hand, when it comes to gun violence, they're always blaming the gun and not the individual that commits the crime. I don't know the answer to that, Tina. I guess probably because with a gun you can kill more people and you don't have to be up close and personal. But, my guns must all be defective because mine have never shot anybody. They've never just went off. Well, Vanilla, we need to do something. We really do. I mean, there's definitely a lot of lunatics out there. Um, and like I said, it's easier for a crazy person to act sane than it is for a sane person to act crazy. But again, the problem that you have is they blame the guns, not the people. And, you live in some of these blue states that have no cash bail. Uh, I just read an article yesterday where these two illegals got a sweetheart plea deal and they murdered someone and their lawyer asked for 5 years in prison. So the judge sentenced them to 25 years and then took 20 years off. So they get 5 years for murder. But this is why we have to fight for our gun rights every day. Um, I constantly write my representatives. I know I keep on harping about this, but when you start losing your gun rights, you can't piss and moan if you didn't do anything about it, right? So I go to the state of Tennessee's um, website probably once a month to look at what bills are being proposed, and I write my representatives and tell them which bills I think they should vote for and which ones they should oppose. Hell, I even signed petitions for other states. I like to know what's going on in every state, not just my own. And I think that's something people need to do more. Support gun right organization like Gun Owners of America and the Firearms Coalition. Not a big fan of the NRA. Wayne LaPierre should have been put in prison 10 years ago, as far as I'm concerned. All the NRA cares about is taking your money. They don't really do anything for us. And to all the new people on, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. We're getting very close to 8,000 subscribers, and once we get to 8, we'll get to 10 even quicker. We do have giveaways from time to time as well. I am sent products now and then to review, and sometimes I have duplicates or triplicates, so I do share them with you guys. That's a good point, John. I agree with that. Yes, Overwatch. That's another bill that the dumbass governor in Illinois is trying to do. Every round of ammunition will need to be serialized. And when you purchase ammunition, it will also be recorded in the state police database. Now, what's stupid about this, no, they don't do it yet, Ozzy, but I'm telling you, it's getting close. But the problem with that serialized ammunition, you're going to just have ammo companies just don't sell ammo in Illinois. It's not worth the trouble, right? He's also going to impose a 5-cent per round tax on ammunition. But what I have a problem with the serialized ammo is, so you buy a box of ammo and each round is serialized and you shoot half a box at the range. Well, what do you have to do now? Go scramble on the floor and pick up those shell cases so that you have proof you still have them? And Ozzy, I don't know if you have seen the latest in Illinois, but I was reading yesterday now where the governor wants to impose something like a $1,800 tax on rifles and pistols so that people can't afford them. I read something about that yesterday. That's never going to fly. But they try these stupid things because the liberal states do is they make up shit and they throw it up against the wall and see what sticks. That's what I'm thinking, Tina. Why even live in Illinois or California or New York or New Jersey? I mean, we used to live in New Jersey. Thank God we left there 7 years ago. I agree with you, Randy. I'm glad we live in Tennessee. When we lived in New Jersey and they took all our gun rights away, it was time to go. And the interesting thing about New Jersey, and correct me if I'm wrong, Duke, is after the Braun case, when New Jersey started giving out carry permits, y'all lost gun rights, even though you're getting permits. There's like so many places you can't carry that it's not even worth it. I have a lot of friends that still live in New Jersey, and none of them have carry permits. I agree with you there, ADHD. Actually, every state is awesome except for the blue ones. And again, we have a lot more new people on the stream today, so thank you all for joining. We do this Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern, and every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. And we do this because you guys asked for it. Um, I appreciate all my subscribers and followers, and I love the uh, relationship and camaraderie we've built together over the time. I enjoy exchanging information and sharing knowledge. I think this is a great way for people to learn. And like I always say, everybody doesn't know everything, but everybody knows something. So, that's a great question, Duke. See, that's the other problem is that if you get turned down on an application, the first question that is on the application, wherever else you're applying, is have you ever been denied? And Brad, you can go back in your mommy's basement. And this is just like the marijuana thing, right? I mean, it is classified as a narcotic on a federal level, and being that they are federal forms, that's never going to go away. So, even though you have a medicinal marijuana card in a state like New Jersey, when you're applying to purchase a firearm and it asks you if you use drugs and you lie and say no, you'll never be approved again. And it's like a double-edged sword. States like New Jersey where marijuana is legal, you could still lose your job if you have to submit to drug tests. You could still get pulled over and lose your license for being under the influence. Yes, Ellie Brary, but that's exactly my point. Have you used illegal drugs? Well, marijuana on a federal level is still illegal. You know what, Overwatch? I have more trust in, my brick wall than I do uh, in my government. And J. Paul, you can go in your mommy's basement now. That is a good point, John. And you know what, Tina? I don't know how I feel about the legalized marijuana, to be honest with you. Um, you know, I don't understand why somebody that smokes marijuana can't own a firearm as long as they're not high while they're handling a firearm. It's no different than alcohol. I mean, somebody could drink every day, but as long as they're not handling the firearm while they're drunk or high, I don't see what the big deal is. And you can go in your mommy's basement now. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes left. But again, the problem you have with the marijuana thing is that even though it may be legal, you could still lose your job. I can guarantee you, if you're a bus driver or a taxi driver and you're stoned, you're going to get in trouble. And if you get pulled over by the police and you're stoned, you're going to lose your license. That's a good question there, Bill. I don't know. That's a government problem. Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. I'm just saying that, people that, so you have people that smoke marijuana and they wind up working menial jobs because they worry about having a drug test. And then they like make no money their whole life, which seems to be the trend. Um, I don't know. Yes, Ellen, the problem is, have you taken any illegal drugs? And marijuana is still illegal on the federal level. So, all right, Tina, thank you for joining. Hope you join us again. Uh, again, we do this every Wednesday evening at 8 Eastern, every Saturday, 12 noon Eastern. Yeah, ADHD, and I also was subjected to uh, testing as well. I'm not talking about a gun license. I'm talking about when you purchase a firearm, that is a federal form. That is not a state form. All right, guys, this is a 2-minute warning. I'm going to end this stream in 2 minutes. If you have any last minute things you want to say, leave them in the comments. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true, ADHD. I don't believe that. When you purchase a firearm, no matter what state you live in, that form is a federal form. Every state has it. Same to you, John. And I wish everybody a safe and happy Easter. Um, no, we don't need a license to carry in Tennessee either. But when you go to purchase a firearm, you have to fill out that form, and it's a federal form. You don't need a license to own it, but you're still filling out a form to buy a gun. So that is absolutely not true. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining again. We do this stream every Wednesday evening at 8 Eastern, every Saturday at 12 noon if you like what we do here and you want to check it out again. Also, please subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications. Have a happy and safe Easter. Catch you next time.